everybody. Is everybody here? Or are we waiting for somebody else? Audience here? Okay. We're going to present to you today our traditional performance of our English theater. I hope you will enjoy it because especially the gentleman in the last row is listening to me attentively. Okay, we can wait. It's not a big deal. Okay, thanks. So what I wanted to say actually was that you know that Britain is a homeland for detective stories. Many crime writers come from Britain. I hope you know the names like Agatha Christie or Conan Doyle, right? Or Edgar Poe. And in many of detective stories, after a long investigation, you find out that the murderer was the butler. You know what the butler is, right? Who's the butler? Yes, exactly. Our play is called The Butler Did It, and it's a parody. It's a comedy. It's a parody. So it is supposed to be funny. I hope that you listen attentively and get the humor and enjoy it. And the actors are quite young, not very experienced, so we hope you will be understanding, and we really are expecting your response and respect, okay? So, enjoy the show. The Butler Did It.
The home of Lord and Lady Codliver. That's them. Nice couple, lovely house, lots of money. It's nice working here. Here comes their little daughter, little Lucy Codliver.
In the bumpy world.
Isn't it a lovely day? I'm going to pick some more pretty flowers.
Beautiful day, Miss Lucy. Delightful child, sweet as sugar.
If you want to play on my Super Nintendo when it's your day off, Cutler.
Thank you, Master Ernest. His parents can be proud of him. Yes, it's a lovely place to work at. Well, except when Lord and Lady Camilla invite some of their friends to stay, such as Major Love, and Miss Dinosaur. And this means real trouble.
Party, Tuesday, party, Wednesday, party. Okay.
Cutler, I was hoping to find you here. There's a horse running at Newmarket this afternoon. I'm absolutely sure it will win.
Oh, really?
So much so that I want to bet £200 on it.
Oh, not again.
Yes, indeed. So, if you could bring the money by lunchtime,
You'd be ever so grateful.
quite.
And you'd continue to say nothing to nobody about nothing.
Your grammar's terrible, Cutler, but your understanding of the situation is perfect. Remember, £200 by lunchtime.
You're probably wondering what all that was about.
What was that all about?
So, it's like this. Lady Camilla is a widow now, see? But about a year ago, when her husband, Sir Arthur, was alive, I was their butler at Wall Manor. Now, let's have a flashback. You know, when the lights go dim for a bit, and when they come up again, you're supposed to imagine we've gone back in time. All right? So, let's go for the last summer then.
How's your mother?
My mother, Sir Arthur?
Yes, after the operation. Is she out of the hospital yet?
Oh, yes, definitely. Back at work on Monday.
Back at work? So soon after having her leg off? You said she was a waitress in a Chinese restaurant.
Well, they've given her a sitting down job, writing out the menus.
Amazing.
Is it?
You said she had an extremely poor eyesight. That's why I loaned you £1,000 for a guide dog.
Yes, you see, the guide dogs are very intelligent now. It helps them with the menus.
What kind of a dog can read Chinese writing?
A Pekingese?
Now, Cutler, stop this nonsense. You've borrowed a total of £5,000 from me for the operations, guide dogs, and so on. It's time to start paying it back. Shall I have your wages, or will you write me a check?
Check? Halved wages? Oh, leave it to me, Sir Arthur. By the end of the day, I'll definitely let you have what's owing to you.
See that you do. Goodbye.
Before you go, Sir Arthur, I've prepared your usual glass of lemonade. It helps you get to sleep.
Thank you.
I've put something extra in it. There you are. I told you, by the end of the day, I'll definitely let you have what's owing to you.
Monday, party. Tuesday, party. Wednesday, party. Okay.
Very interesting. I had no idea you were an expert on poisons, Cutler.
Oh, Lady Camilla, I must call an ambulance. Sir Arthur is not at all well.
Strychnine, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't understand you, milady.
My husband had been foolish enough to lend you money, and you decided to cross him out of the race, the human race, that is.
How can you say that, your ladyship?
It's only a question of knowing the words and getting them in the right order.
But I wouldn't poison anybody.
We'll ask the police to analyze the contents of your Johnny Walker bottle, then, shall we?
All right, I confess. I did poison your beloved husband. He was a good, kind master, and I know I shouldn't do it. But none of us is perfect, are we? I mean, you've done things too.
Be quiet, man! You're talking nonsense! Now listen to me carefully. I shan't report to the police if you agree to do what I say.
Oh yes, anything.
First, I need to cry because my poor husband is dead. Right. Now then, I want you to give me 3/4 of everything you earn.
By the end of the week? But I can't.
Oh, I don't care how you will get it, but get it you will by Friday. Meanwhile, I shall arrange for you to take up a butler's position elsewhere, not too far away from here.
Not too far away? Why is that then?
Because I shall want you to give me 5,000 you borrow by the end of this week.
But I can't.
Oh, don't care how you'll get it.
But it's...
Blackmail, exactly.
Wake up, Dinah. Something terrible's happened. Our test collapsed.
Oh dear, I must have dropped off.
Why is something lying on the carpet?
Now you're back to where you were when the play started. Kodliver Hall. It's where Lady Camilla found me a job. She keeps her word. Found me a job, takes most of my wages, and makes me steal money.
Cutler!
Coming, milady. Things can't go on like this. If only Lady Kodliver knew I was stealing her jewelry because of her best friend.
Butler.
An extra guest is arriving for this weekend. Arrange a room for him in the West Wing, will you?
Yes, miss.
Oh, and by the way, Cutler, I can't find my pearl necklace. Have a look around for it, please.
What did I tell you? Things can't go on like this. So, I'm going to tell you something. My plan. But you should keep it a secret. So, after the dinner, everybody comes into this room for coffee and chat. See? But now, I'll go and fetch some coffee. It's a special, little quick-acting poison of my own formula. I can let you know the recipe before you go. Now, I'll go and fetch it.
Isabel, the meal was delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dinah. I must praise the cook. It will inspire her to even greater achievements.
The strawberry souffle was just too good. I couldn't resist a second helping.
The cook has a magic touch as far as fish is concerned, you know. Whole salmon inside a sauce must be eaten to be believed.
What shall we talk about next?
No need for further small talk, miss. That's giving me time to go and fetch some coffee. Yes, before family, Miss Lucy. This one will come in. It's all very easy now. Tell you what, count up to 10 and you'll see some action. Start now. 1.
I expect he'll be any time now.
2.
Who?
Our other guest for this weekend.
3.
I don't think I feel very well.
4.
Who else have you invited then, Isabel?
A friend of Henry's. Unexpected boost.
5.
Cutler, come over here.
Coming, milady. 6.
This coffee, did you? Was it?
I'm afraid I don't understand you, milady. 7.
Here we are, Kodliver Hall.
9.
Cutler, you wouldn't dare. You will never get away with this.
10.
I've been poisoned.
Inspector Seymour Clues, the famous police detective.
Welcome, miss. Unfortunately, you have arrived at a moment of tragedy. One of the guests has just died.
In mysterious circumstances?
You could say that, yes, miss.
Oh well, lead on. If there's any murder or scandal involved, I can find the criminal and turn the whole thing into a TV whodunit.
That was sudden, ma'am, but I'm sure you'll find Lady Camilla Ball died of natural causes.
We shall see, we shall see.
Seymour, we need your help. Something terrible has happened.
That's something I wasn't quite expecting. A police detective. It makes things more difficult. Mind you, she doesn't look bright, does she? Not exactly Miss Marple or Sherlock. What's his name? If I'll be careful and watch my step, and if you keep silent, I'll be alright. So I can guess what's going to happen. These same recluse will interview everybody one at a time, and then gather us all in the library for the grand finale. Most impressive and dramatic. Tell you what, if she ever suspects me for a second, I'll dance the can.
So, as far as you know, Lady Camilla had no enemies?
None at all.
Most kind and friendly woman. Got on well with everybody, even ex-criminals, policemen, school teachers, those sorts of undesirables. She'd been through a difficult time recently too. Her husband died last year from kind of food poisoning.
It's a coincidence.
What is?
Husband and wife died in a similar way. You said that when Lady Camilla collapsed, she cried out, "I've been poisoned." Was that exactly what she said?
Well, she said, "I've been poisoned."
Still, that's full of coincidences. It's not so important.
Have you any theories, Miss Cruz? Do you suspect unfair play?
Don't be silly, Diane. Only an idiot would form an opinion at this stage.
Why?
Only a bad professional would form a theory without further investigation.
I've got a theory.
What?
Might it be excuse to go to the kitchen?
Stay where you are.
What?
My theory is that in any house, the butler is the only person who knows exactly what's going on. So you might be able to help me a lot, Miss...
Cutler, miss.
Miss Cutler, right. First of all, tell me, how long have you worked at Schkolovo Hall, Miss Cutler?
Well, I've been here a very, very long time, miss.
Only about a year.
And how well did you know Lady Camilla Wall?
Who?
The dead woman.
Oh, I hardly knew her at all.
She used to work for her.
Yes, but she never used to talk to me much, miss.
Very interesting. So you were working for Lady Camilla at the time of her husband's sudden death?
No.
Yes, I was staying in their house when it happened. And I remember your being there, Cutler.
Yes, it had slipped my memory, but fancy you being here at the time of Sir Arthur's sudden death.
What are you saying, Cutler? You know perfectly well that Lady Camilla is playing how Sir Arthur poisoned himself accidentally by mixing up labels on his witch guillotine and his medicine.
Don't upset yourself, miss. There's probably no connection between Sir Arthur's death and that of his wife. I prefer to concentrate on this evening's unfortunate incident. That's a motive we have to look for. Motive. So I'd like to have a private word with each of you, and then I'll call you all back to the library when the murderer will be named.
Told you so.
Major Love, perhaps you'll be good enough to remain here. Everybody else may go to their rooms. I'll send for you when I want you.
I don't think I'll be of much help to you, Inspector.
That's what they all say, sir.
Who?
People on TV. Now tell me, Major, where were you when Lady Camilla was taken ill?
In here with everybody else.
How long have you known Lady Camilla Ward?
Since childhood, we were cousins, though I didn't see her very often.
distantly related then. Will you get any money from her?
Possibly. She had nobody to leave it to. Though she had a little money left, you know.
What do you mean?
She spent lots of money on horse races, but she's not good at picking winners. Is that all, Inspector?
For the moment, Major.
I'll be in the library. I want to find a little piece.
A little piece of what?
Pardon?
Just kidding. See you later, Major.
Any joy with the Major then?
Just between you and me, I'm suspicious of our friend Major Love. I'd like to see a copy of Lady Camilla's will to see if he's mentioned in it.
You think he might have killed her so he could get her money?
Possibly, if he's in Lady Camilla's will, he's got a motive. But is here anybody else with a motive? What about Lady Codliver, for instance?
Well, I've had a sort of guess. Probably Lady Camilla poisoned her husband, right?
Sir Arthur?
Yes.
Why would she do that?
Because Lady Codliver and Sir Arthur were a bit fond of each other.
Oh, yes?
Yes, they always won when they played Scrabble, even though she couldn't spell for toffee.
Couldn't spell for what?
For toffee?
How do you spell that?
2S. Also, they used to go on long walks too.
An interesting theory. But who killed Camilla?
Well, Lady Codliver would want her revenge, wouldn't she?
So where does Major Love come in?
Who knows?
Here comes Lady Codliver.
Hi.
Oh, Lady Codliver, do sit down. Lady Codliver, who won the cup final in the 1947?
I beg your pardon?
Who won the...
Charlton Athletic.
What?
Charlton Athletic won an FA Cup in 1947.
Really? Fancy
They
that.
beat Burnley 1-0.
You don't
But
say.
in 1948,
Yes, I'm sure you're right. Now I'd like to ask you about Lady Camilla.
did I murder her, for instance?
Yes. I mean, not exactly. Oh, yes, did you murder her?
No.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Didn't you have quite a strong motive?
Camilla was one of my closest friends. What possible motive could I have?
What was the relationship between you and Lady Camilla's husband?
And I? What do you mean?
Do you deny that when staying at Wall Manor, you and Sir Arthur were going to long walks together?
Oh, that's little rat! Cutler, isn't it? She was the one you ought to question. That nasty little poisonous toad.
Lady Codliver, is it or is it not true that when staying at Wall Manor, you and Sir Arthur were always in each other's company?
It's perfectly true. Arthur and I were good friends, but nothing more than friends. What we discussed in private had nothing at all to do with love.
So what did it have to do with?
Pumpkins.
I beg your pardon?
Pumpkins. Let me explain. My husband Henry is a very keen gardener. It's his passion. Each year at the county show, he enters the pumpkin section and always wins a prize. At least he wins second or third prize, but never first.
Oh, very interesting.
The
But I don't
first
see-
prize is always won by someone else. The same person each year.
Yes.
Well, it makes my husband very depressed. Pumpkin growing is the only thing he's any good at.
So?
So I thought if Henry's rival could be, well, out of competition, you understand, Henry's pumpkin would win a prize and he would be very happy.
And who is this rival pumpkin champion?
Can't you guess?
No?
Camilla Wall, of course.
Oh,
I know that
Camilla would never actually agree to risk losing her first prize. So I thought I'd persuade Arthur to help me.
How?
By sending the wrong pumpkin to the show.
And did Lord Wall agree to do this?
In the end he did, yes.
And what did Henry think of it all?
Oh, he knew nothing about it. If he discovered what I was trying to do, he would be very angry. He was desperate to win first prize, but only by fair means. Please don't tell him.
Seymour. Dinosaur is anxious that you get this. Poor girl seems very worried.
Thank you. Inspector clues, strictly confidential, top secret, for your eyes only. Open only when you are alone. Okay. I must speak to you at once. I know who murdered Lady Camilla. She was poisoned by someone in this house, and I have proof. There's always somebody thinking that they could do your job, can do your job. What they don't realize is that I have my own methods. I know what I'm doing, and I'll do it in my own way.
But surely you're going to speak to her.
All in good time, all in good time. At first, I'd like to have a private word with Butler the Butler. Oh. On second thought, can you spare me a minute, Henry?
Certainly.
I'll leave you then. I'll get Cutler to make Dinah a nice cup of tea to help her nurse.
Perhaps you can tell Cutler to come here when he's done this. Now then, Henry, how about this?
My pumpkins?
Yes, I'm told you are something of a pumpkin expert.
Well, yes. I've been growing them for years. Won a few prizes.
You never quite managed to win the first prize. You? And doesn't this prize always go to Lady Camilla?
Look here, Sailor. What's all this got to do with?
Or the first prize used to go to Lady Camilla. Now, of course, things will be different. There's nobody stopping you from being number one in the pumpkin world.
Just what are you getting at, young lady?
Well, let's face it, Henry, it's a motive.
But that's ridiculous. Do you seriously think that I'd murder an old friend over a pumpkin?
Henry, but you've got to admit.
I admit nothing, Sailor. The whole idea is absurd. You might as well accuse Ernest or little Lucy.
Yes, it's time I have a word with them. Where will they be at the moment, do you think?
Asleep, probably. They were sent to their beds half an hour ago.
Oh, Miss Clues, we've just seen something very strange in the kitchen.
We'll just see Cutler live in this room, looking like a ghost.
We followed Cutler and overheard him ask Mother if she should take Miss Saw a nice cup of tea, because she seemed very nervous.
Yes, well...
Cutler has been very strange since she came to work here.
How do you mean?
Well, for example, she and Lady Camilla always seem to be very secretive.
And I think she may have been threatening her.
And then there's the cupboard under the sink.
What about the cupboard under the sink?
She keeps it locked all the time.
Which is odd, because it's only used to store soap and brushes in.
But we've just seen her open up the cupboard under the sink.
Really?
She took out a large, mysterious-looking bottle
and poured some liquid from it into Miss Saw's cup of tea.
That's very strange, don't you think, Sailor?
Not at all, Henry, not at all. We mustn't jump to conclusions.
Surely,
But the explanation's obvious, Henry.
Yes,
Your
but...
butler sometimes drinks a drop of whiskey. Tonight, out of the kindness of her heart, she poured a drop to Mr. Steve, knowing she feels very nervous.
But we thought she was trying to
poison me, Sword! Oh dear me, what imagination you kids have! Poison indeed.
I say, something terrible happened. Dinah's lying dead on the library carpet.
Cutler have overdone it with whiskey.
I thought she wasn't well at first and tried to help her. And there's a strange note addressed to you.
Lady Camilla Vole was murdered by Cutler the butler. Camilla was blackmailing Cutler. She knew she'd murdered her husband, Sir Arthur. I was a guest at Vole Manor when Sir Arthur was poisoned. I saw Cutler poisoned Sir Arthur's lemonade, and I heard a conversation between Lady Camilla and Cutler in which she said she would blackmail her. They thought I was asleep, and I couldn't let them know I had heard them, because it's rude. But Camilla is a good friend of mine, so I thought I'd just let her blackmail Cutler the butler. But when I heard Cutler telling the audience that she wanted to poison Camilla, I felt I could remain silent no longer. Arrest Cutler immediately!
Cutler the murderer, and we were thinking of giving her 3.5% rise in pay.
We could all have been killed in our beds.
Now, let's not jump to conclusions. In spite of all this, I'm sure Cutler is innocent. Major Love, perhaps you can tell Cutler we want him in here.
But I say, the man's dangerous.
I'm sure she's quite harmless, Major. Of course, if you're afraid.
I hope you know what you are doing, saying.
Trust me, Henry, trust me.
But Dinah's note is absolutely clear.
For me, such evidence means nothing. The only thing I trust is my own instinct.
You sent for me, miss?
Yes, I have to inform you that Miss Dinosaur is lying dead on the library carpet.
Yes, I know. I'll tell the cook that there will be one less for breakfast.
Cutler, is that all you can say? Miss Sore is dead.
Dead? Oh my God! Such a pleasant lady. She hadn't been more than 35. She'll be certainly missed.
That can wait.
I thought you'd all like something to drink. Lemonade, Mother? No, don't take that one. The one next to you. Thank you, Lucy. Father? Miss Clues, yours is the one on the right.
Thank you very much.
The one on the left there. Thank you. Which leaves just one glass. Why don't you have it, Cutler?
Well, I don't think...
But you must. Mustn't you, Father? Please, Cutler, take the glass.
All right. Thank you, Miss Lucy.
Okay, if I can go on with the
Excuse
questions.
me for interrupting, but did you enjoy your lemonade, Cutler?
Miss Lucy, I would be grateful.
Because I have a little confession to make. Lucy, what? You see, I put a little bit of something stronger than lemonade in your drink, Cutler. Some of the whiskey from your own whiskey bottle.
What whiskey bottle?
The one you keep in the cupboard under the sink.
But it's locked.
Normally, yes. But you know, I'm very good at opening locks with a paperclip. Since it was your whiskey, Cutler, and I poured a generous amount into your drink.
Whiskey? That were not whiskey, you stupid little brat!
You're fired, Butler.
So it was Cutler who killed him.
And Arthur.
And now, for Dinah!
Yes, it was me. Of course it was me. remembered it too if it hadn't been for that terrible kid. Damn you, damn all of you!
Oh dear. You shouldn't have done that, young lady. You know it's going to take some explaining.
Lucy dear, you must be more careful. This is terrible.
Well, at least we've cleared up a few murder cases. Miss Cruz, by the way, do you keep a set of handcuffs on you?
As a matter of fact, yes. But
I should put them on Katla, if I were you.
put them on. I don't quite see the point of cuffing a dead butler.
Oh, you see, he's not.
Lucy, whatever do you mean?
I'm afraid I told a little white lie when I said that I added something to her drink. Katla's not dead at all. I never went anywhere near her nasty little cupboard under the sink. Katla drank pure lemonade like everybody else in this room.
What? I'm not poisoned. I've been tricked. You interfering little monster ought to be locked for a few days.
Hold your tongue, Katla. You are arrested.
Make you laugh. That's actually my line, if you don't mind. Keep still, Cutler. No use getting nasty. The game's up. Henry, perhaps you'd be good enough to phone for a police car. Tell them Clues has a result in one of her most mysterious mysteries. The case is solved. The butler did it.
So, I made a mistake about our friend, Miss Clues. And I remember what I promised to do if she walked out, that I was the one who did it. Music, if you please.